So you want to play at Pebble Beach Golf Links cheaply, affordably? Let me tell you how I did it. The first thing I'll say is that the lodge at Pebble Beach, amazing place, great, very, very expensive, right? $900 a night, that's for the base level room. There are two ways to get a tee time at Pebble Beach Golf Links. The first is to stay at the resort for a minimum of 2 nights. That's going to cost you just about $2,000, and that's not even including hotel taxes, etc., etc. The other way to get a tee time is to not stay on property, but you can only get a tee time by calling 24 hours in advance. That's what I did. That's one way that you can save a lot of money. I found an Airbnb in the Del Monte Forest area, about $200 per night, and then 24 hours before, called ahead and was able to get onto Pebble Beach. Granted, I was a single, so that's something to factor into your trip is, are you traveling in a group? Are you traveling by yourself? Something to think about. So we covered lodging. And the reason that lodging also matters is that it impacts the amount that you'll spend on food. So if you stay here, Pebble Beach Resorts, you will be eating out, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. Pretty expensive, not crazy expensive depending on where you're eating. The Gallery Cafe is reasonably affordable, talking like $15, $20 for breakfast. But I stayed in an Airbnb and was able to drive outside of the gates and go to a grocery store. We had a fridge in the Airbnb and a microwave, and basically just have cereal for breakfast. And we would eat out pretty cheaply in Monterey. It's some hole in the wall, great places, some Thai foods, some Italian places, and then eat leftovers as well. So that's just another area that you could save if you're looking to save. By all means, if you want to be staying here, Pebble Beach Resorts, and you have the bang for the buck to be able to do it, great. I mean, these are the views that you're going to be getting. Just incredible. But there's other ways to do Pebble without breaking the bank as much. A couple other factors that I meant to cover when talking about guaranteed tee times and whether or not you'll be staying at the resort or rolling the dice, staying elsewhere, and calling ahead 24 hours in advance. Think about the season in which you're visiting Pebble. Are you visiting during the busiest months, the best weather months at Pebble, which are the Indian summer, September through early November and May? Because if so, those tee times are probably going to be booked, harder to get on last minute. So consider visiting during some of the other months. For example, February and March, a little bit less traffic at that time, something to think about. And then lastly, let's talk about the golf. Where can you save money when it comes to the golf? Now, we all know that Pebble is a very expensive round, $575 presently. Here's where you can save if you want to. Choose to not take a caddy and choose to walk, right? Caddy fee, I know the caddy fee at least at Spyglass was $140. That's what you pay on top of your tee time before tipping your caddy. So all in, it's about $200 to take a caddy. So consider not taking a caddy and just paying the sticker price, and that'll also save you some money. I would also highly recommend that you do not take a cart, because it's cart path only, and that's one way to just ruin the best walk in golf. So walk, consider not taking a caddy if you're looking to save a little bit of extra, and especially with some of the coronavirus restrictions, caddies aren't doing as much. At least right now, they're not able to carry your bag, they're not able to touch your clubs. They basically just walk alongside you and tell you your yardages and help you read the greens. So, in conclusion, we talked about lodging, right? There's 2 ways to make tee times. If you want to book in advance and have a guaranteed tee time, you have to spend 2 nights staying at one of the resort hotels. That's going to cost you about $2,000 right there. The other way to do it is to stay elsewhere, find an Airbnb, bed and breakfast hotel in the area, even outside of the 17-mile drive, and you can call ahead 24 hours in advance and hope to kind of get in last minute and book a tee time. That's what I did. It worked for me at Pebble, it worked for me at Spyglass, but it's also a riskier play depending on when you're coming and whether or not you're a single or you're playing with a group. The other thing is food, right? You can save a lot on food if you stay somewhere that has a refrigerator, microwave, etc. You can stock up there and not eat out all the time. Then we also talked about the golf, and if you want to go with no caddy, that's going to save you about $100, $200 depending on whether that's a personal caddy or whether you're sharing that caddy with another player. So that's another way that you can save. I hope that you get the chance to visit this special property. I had an unbelievable time at Pebble, trip of a lifetime. The course lived up to all of my expectations and then exceeded them. I'm Dougie, hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.